60% of Latinos voted for Trump in this election. And to think that my vote was going towards protecting my people. The fact that I was absolutely horrified at the thought of Trump becoming president because of the effects that it will have on our people.
Politics is sure a dirty game and a hella confusing one. Now, did you know that about 40 to 60% of Latinos actually voted for the Trump train to get back into office? Is it to lower the prices of eggs? You tell me. But in today's video, we've got Latinos and some people from Hispanic descent just talking about how their people actually participated more than expected to bring back Mr. J into office. How intriguing is that? But on top of that, we're going to be digesting the reasons as to why perhaps this could have taken place. But you also enlighten us by leaving your own thoughts in the comment section and let us know what you think that could have contributed majorly to this shift. So like, why was that happening? I'm mind blown. Are you? Let's get started.
Latinos for Trump, this video is for you. I have a genuine question and I'm not even trying to throw shade, I'm just curious. I know for a fact that many of you Latinos for Trump are children of undocumented parents. What do you guys think about Trump wanting to end birthright citizenship for the children of those who are undocumented? He has said many times that on day one, if he is reelected, he will sign an executive order not allowing birthright citizenship for those who are children of undocumented parents. I've said this many times, guys, they do not see you as equal. Any chance that they get to deport you or discriminate against you, they will do it. And before you guys come at me, I think the Democratic Party is just as bad as the Republican Party. It's just that Republicans laugh in your face and you guys take it with a smile. That's the only difference I see. Also, check out this video. This is what Donald Trump thinks of you guys.
As part of my plan to secure the border on day one of my new term in office, I will sign an executive order making clear to federal agencies that under the correct interpretation of the law, going forward, the future children of illegal aliens will not receive automatic U.S. citizenship. To go back to their home countries, they must go back. Nobody could afford this. Nobody could do this. And even morally, it's so wrong.
I've said it many times, to them, you're just a Mexican. It doesn't matter if you're a U.S. citizen. To them, you're still an immigrant and they don't care about you. But anyways, let me know what you guys think.
Maria Salazar, a Republican congresswoman who openly supported Trump, is now asking him to not deport Haitians, Cubans, Venezuelans, and Nicaraguans. I'm not sure if you guys are aware, however, Trump signed an executive order which killed the process for Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans. This process allowed individuals from those respective four countries, Haiti, Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, to come into the United States and work legally should they have a US-backed sponsor and pass a background check. Now, Maria is trying to protect the Cubans, Venezuelans, Nicaraguans, and Haitians that she actively voted against by asking Trump to please not deport them. Guess she didn't think that the leopards would eat her face this quick.
60% of Latinos voted for Trump in this election. And to think that my vote was going towards protecting my people. The fact that I was absolutely horrified at the thought of Trump becoming president because of the effects that it will have on our people. I voted for those Latinos that don't have a voice in this country. For the Latinos that are the backbone of this country and don't receive shit. I voted for the Latinos that have been nothing but good people in this country, paying taxes and have no criminal records. Only to find out that it's our own people turning against us. I am truly disgusted.
If you support him in any way, I genuinely do not want to see you taking part in any Hispanic or Latino culture. I don't think you have any right to do so. I don't want to see you in Mexico. I don't want to see you in Puerto Rico. I don't want to see you in any of these Hispanic or Latino countries on your vacations. So rightfully, the same way you tell us to go back to your country, I hope that if you do show your face in these places, they treat you with that same energy.
All of the Latinos that voted for Trump because, I don't know, the price of eggs, and now they are confused and appalled by all of the decisions that he is making. We told you. So I feel so bad about everything he's doing, but I'm not surprised. I'm just sitting here like, he said that that's what he was going to do, and he's doing it. The mass deportations, ending birthright citizenship. I got so many people came after me like, he can't do that. Oh, no, he'll find a way. He did. He sure did. And now you have people scared, shitless. We told you so. We f***ed around. Now we're finding out. if it isn't the consequences to your actions. And this is exactly what happens when people vote against their own interests, regardless of how much you've been convinced or you've convinced yourself that you are not part of. You're not. If you are Latino, you're Latino, regardless of where you go, what you do, how much money you make, how whitewashed you are, how white adjacent you are. If you're Latino, you're Latino, and the consequences of your actions are gonna align with what you are. That's exactly what it is. And I just, seeing it play out in real time when like the people that knew is kind of crazy. Seeing Elon Musk salute on national television, I just, we told you so. We told you so. And he has not talked not once about the price of eggs or bringing down anything or the economy or whatnot. He's cutting ties with everyone. He's firing everyone. He's tweeting. He's mass deporting. He's doing everything but he told you he would do to help you. So good luck to all of us, but especially to the people that voted for him. I hope that your pillow is never cold. Never.
Well, he signed it. Donald Trump signed it. Now they're not going to need to go through the legal process of getting you to see an immigration judge. They can just deport you on the spot. So if you've been here for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, you don't have a criminal record, they can still deport you. You're in the process, or heck, you even have already residency and or citizenship. If you get caught and you don't have documents, you're screwed. We told you, baby. We told you. So if you are a person with brown skin, you have a thick accent, you look Latino, you look like an immigrant, you don't look like them, and they stop you and you don't happen to have your documents with you to prove that you're here legally, we told you. So now you get to live your life having to be extra careful every single day, probably scared that one of these days you'll forget your documents. F-A-F-O. Around and find out. We told you. It's not about whether or not you're a criminal. If you are an immigrant, if you are Latino, Latina, okay, if you are not from this country or your family were not from this country, you don't belong to them. It's not just some, they want to get rid of everybody. They're gonna start little by little, but they're gonna do it all. Even you. We told you. We told you. And the innocent people who didn't want this now have to pay for it. However, keep in mind, you asked for this. You asked for this.
So talking about the irony in all this, you would think that Latinos and Hispanics would vote for Kamala Harris, because they would think that the grass is greener on her side. Because her campaign was just literally about them. Like if I reflect on some of the things that she was talking about in her memo, in her campaign, it was all about that. So let's just try to reflect back on some of the things that she was going to do, especially for Latinos and maybe Hispanics. So the first point that I have for you is called economic relief, where Harris emphasized providing financial relief to families, particularly those hit hard by economic downturns, right? So she really analyzed what was going on and she was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to help them in this way. So she highlighted her past efforts in securing mortgage settlements and fighting predatory practices that disproportionately affected Latino households. So this was a specific agenda just for Latinos and their households. Now, the other point I think that was very important on her memo is healthcare access, where she focused on making healthcare more affordable. It's not very affordable. So she focused on that and also making it accessible, especially for communities with high unissued rates. Right, so she supported measures like the Inflation Reduction Act to lower drug costs for Medicare, as well as other benefits. And in terms of education and job opportunities, she was on it. Like, she aimed to ensure access to quality education and well-paying jobs. She advocated for equity in higher education, as well as protections for workers, addressing the needs of migrant workers and those in vulnerable positions. Now, one thing that I think I loved about Harris's memo was that she was specifically hitting these targets. Although we never saw it happen, but at least she was addressing them head on in her memo. And the last thing that she engaged on was, the last thing that she looked at was community engagement. So her campaign included targeted outreach to Latino voters through Spanish language media and community events. So you can see she even focused on a lot of things like that. So it's kind of like disappointing, like it's kind of like heartbreaking, I guess. But all in all, this happened, so there's nothing that we can do. So ahead of the election, polls also suggested that many Latinos across the US and in Pennsylvania specifically were drawn to Trump's proposals. So now we're looking at the Trump trade. I mean, we're looking at Trump and how he was able to engage with them and just draw them to himself. So his proposal to block migrants at the US-Mexico border and enact much stricter immigration laws. So Latinos wanted this. They wanted him to work on blocking immigrants. They never wanted a lot of them to be like coming from those borders. So this is one reason, I guess, that I found on the internet. But I'm going to be analyzing some of them just bit by bit. So voters from Latino and Hispanic communities contributed significantly to Donald Trump's resounding victory over Kamala Harris in the U.S. presidential elections. Overall, Trump increased his share of Latino voters to 45% nationwide, which was in 2020, it was like 32%. So there's a huge difference there. Now, about 53% of the voters in this group supported Harris, which was like a reduction number from 60% that we saw in 2020. So there's a huge difference in the way they performed in these elections that we saw. So there's a very big gap here. I get why some people are very furious, because like when we look at Harris's memo, it was top notch. It was just like for them, but Latinos voted for Trump in numbers. But one thing that I found intriguing was something that wasn't listed on the internet that I think is very important, and I think it's because of Christianity as well. Now, we've often heard religion being used as a tool perhaps of dominating and of making people just believing something or making people to do something. So in this case, did you know that a lot of Latinos are actually like Christians or Catholics? Like a lot of them are Catholics and a lot of them associate with Christianity. And we all know that the Trump train is pretty much a Christian, right? So what if because of that, people thought that maybe he might find some sort of grace or some sort of, I don't know what to call it. Spiritual folks, help me out. But what if some people just thought because he's a Christian and they're Christians that they should just vote for him and things would be better for them in the long run? Like, religion has often been used in such a manner. But you tell me what you think. Could that be manipulation, or maybe just being convinced that somebody's gonna do something that they promised or that they didn't promise just because you associate with the religion that they associate with? We've often felt that way. Like you've often felt that the people that you go to church with or the people that you congregate with, they can be in solidarity with you more than those that are not in the same religion as you. I know this makes sense, so what do you think about that? And in conclusion, I think one major thing that I think could have contributed is also Twitter. Like, we did see a lot of the Trump train's posts against Kamala, especially during the campaign. So, like, at the time, he falsely portrayed Harris as a committed communist, such as in his post on X. So for Latino immigrants coming from countries under authoritarian regimes such as Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, this messaging recalls memories of the situation they fled from, right? So he was like portraying Harris in this manner, and they didn't want any leader because any leader that was portrayed in such a way, because that's where they came from. They came from Cuba. They came from these places that just had, Kamala being portrayed in that way. So I don't know if this could have also played a major role, because I think the fact that we were seeing a lot of things happening during the campaign. But all in all, you leave your thoughts in the comments and let us know what you think could have contributed majorly to Latinos, Hispanics, and people that you never expected to vote him back into office, just going there and giving him their votes. With that being said, that is a goodbye for now from our side. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, to share, and also to subscribe if you haven't already.